Hey, babe.
What?
What's for dinner?
All right. Hi, everybody. It's been a while, but we are back for another episode of How to Food. I was recently asked to make a video about Hong Kong-style pork chop over rice, which, and I'm merely attempting here in Cantonese, is guk ju pa fan, or baked pork chop over rice. Now, a big part of this dish is that it's obviously pork chops, but baked on top of a bed of fried rice. Now, I couldn't really do an episode about that dish without showing you how to make fried rice, which is an excellent beginner thing to talk about, and that's what we're gonna do today. So don't worry about this at all. It's pretty easy. Anyone can handle this, and if you've always wanted to know how to make fried rice on your own and have it taste like the restaurant style, I'm going to explain how that happens. So, in order to explain this dish, there's a few things you're gonna wanna look for. Now, when I originally tried to learn how to make this over the past couple of years, I'd seen a lot of recipes where they try to tell you that the sauce for fried rice is just soy sauce. It's not. There's more to it than that, and I've always felt like when I did those dishes, it didn't taste like the restaurant result. And I finally figured out over time, when you see real recipes, that the secret ingredient for that is this. This is oyster sauce. It's the thing that provides that sort of shellfishy umami in the fried rice dish. Yes, some restaurants, most of them, will serve it with the little shrimp in them, but this is also what's contributing to that flavor. Another thing you're going to want to find, if you can, is ground white pepper. This also is a very distinct sort of flavor that lends to how fried rice tastes. If you're wondering what the hell else you would ever need white pepper for, you should know that it's one of the secret ingredients in KFC fried chicken, so you're set up for something else. So another thing that I've got here, though, is this, which is about a half a pound of char siu, which is Chinese barbecue pork. Now, I got this just by going to one of the Asian markets here where they sell it in the deli. It's really tasty stuff, and it is pretty much what you see in the fried rice that you get from a restaurant. The good news is that you don't have to do this, and a great substitute, which I've done all the time because it's just something that you have in your pantry, is bacon. It works just as good. I mean, it's not the same flavor, but it absolutely works, and it's probably something you do have in your kitchen right now, and you can use that just as well. All right, I don't want to bore you guys too much with the prep, so we're just going to get started. Trust me, you can do this. Actually, wait. There is one more thing I forgot to tell you. Fried rice is often best made with day-old rice. This is about 2 cups of day-old rice. It's the best thing to do whenever you have leftovers, or you even have leftover rice from your takeout from a Chinese food place. Why do you do this? Well, it holds up against the frying. If you have fresh steamed rice, it will just turn into mush rather than be that granule thing you're used to eating when you get fried rice from a restaurant. So there's a tip for you.
All right, for our aromatics, we're gonna need about a teaspoon of grated ginger, 3 green onions, the whites and greens separated, 2 garlic cloves. These were small, so I had about 3 of them. Here's our 2 cups of day-old rice. Here's our 2 eggs, which will be beaten later. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, which we'll mix together later. Half a teaspoon of white pepper and half a teaspoon of MSG. I know to some that's a dirty word. Here's our half pound of char siu pork. We're going to go ahead and chop up our aromatics. Let's start with the green onions, white parts. Then the green parts, which will be added for color and flavor towards the end of the dish. We'll go ahead and mince up our garlic. If you want to use jarred versions of the minced garlic and ginger, I will not judge. It does save you some time. Now we'll go ahead and chop up our char siu pork, or cube it, I guess. I didn't go about doing this correctly, but it wouldn't be an episode of How to Food if I didn't screw something up. But anyway, yeah, you'll see they're cubed here. Go ahead and beat up our eggs. I'm using chopsticks here because I'm trying to impress Uncle Roger. All right, and then our prep is all set. We're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and preheat our wok with a bit of oil. If you don't have a wok, you can use a non-stick pan or Dutch oven. All right, go ahead and add our pork in first. Why do we do this? Well, we're hoping that the pork will render out some fat and flavor for the rest of the dish. All of this helps to create baseline flavors along with the aromatics that sort of coat everything and give you stronger flavors. Once that fat is rendered out, you can remove this. Then we'll go ahead and add our aromatics. Here's the white parts of the green onion, as well as the garlic and ginger. And just stir these about until they're fragrant. It takes about a minute or maybe less. Not very long. This may not be the correct way to do this, but I basically just push them aside and then start on the eggs here. I'll give the eggs a minute to set just a little bit before I start mixing them around. Alright, so right when the eggs are just almost set completely, we'll go ahead and add our cold rice. And then add a little bit more oil just so it doesn't stick to the pan. It always takes a little bit more than you think it does. Sometimes the rice is in big clumps. I find it helps just to sort of smash them against the side of the pot. We'll also add our pork back in and give it a good stir. Once that's properly mixed up, we can add in our sauce. So I'm just going to mix the soy sauce with the oyster sauce here to get it to pour out better. There we go. And then here it'll pretty much start to look like fried rice. Or at least the kind of stuff that we're used to seeing in the US. Once that's all coated, we'll add our MSG and white pepper, give it another stir again. This whole thing from start to finish takes less than 10 minutes, pretty much. The cooking process, I mean. In goes our green onions for the last bit of color and flavor. And there you have it. You're ready to go. Here it is. For some reason, my cell phone seems to take better video of the food than our fancy camera does, so I'll use it here. To mine, I'm going to add a little bit of sriracha. I like that extra bit of kick. You can also use chili oil too. It's fantastic. Tam likes hers with a bit of kewpie mayo. This is a Japanese mayo. I know that sounds weird, but it is really tasty, trust me.
All right, there you have it. It's actually pretty simple and goes pretty quick once you get started. But let's see how it tastes. So I just like put some sriracha on mine. Nice. I probably could have pushed the MSG a little further, even more oomph, but pretty spot on. Definitely way better than some of my earlier attempts to do this. All right. Before I eat all this, thank you for watching. I'm Jerome Conover. This has been How2Food, and I've just shown you how to make fried rice. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the lady upstairs. Have a good night.